So to the last quarter-final of the evening, and it's men's singles. So looking at the destination Dubai ranking, and two Danes on the top of the list there, and Srikanth Kadambi going up 13 places to number 4 after winning his home event in Delhi last week. So to our last quarter-final, and it features the world champion and world number 1 Chen of China up against Kento Momota of Japan.
Chen, China versus Kento Momota, Japan. Umpire David Wong, Malaysia. City Judge Yong Malaysia. Court 1.
So Chen China against Kento Momota, 20-year-olds from Kagawa. Chen Long turned 26 earlier this year. I always think of him as a up-and-coming youngster, but 26 is well established in the prime, I should think, of his athletic ability. No. Momota won the toss of the coin and has chosen to serve. David Wong Peng Seng, our umpire for this one. Yong Loi Gong, our service judge. So Chen Long, the world champion and world number 1, twice been a semi-finalist at the Malaysian Open. Last year he had a bit of a disappointing run. He was the number 2 seed and then lost in the quarter-final to another Japanese player, Kenichi Tago. 5 and love, 1 tournament played, 1 tournament won, the All England Championship. No problems in his first 2 matches against Ueda of Japan and then Kashyap Parupalli of India. So to the young left-hander, up 4 places in the world ranking to 11, which equals his career high. Did spend 3 weeks in May last year as world number 11, so this is 4th week in total at that career high. Now, one previous meeting between these 2 players, and that was at the Asian Games last year in the round of last 16, and as you can see, it was pretty comfortable in that second game. It was a tight opening game, but comfortable in the second in favour of Chen Long. And of course Chen Long went on to take the silver medal in those Asian Games, lost out in the final to Lin Dan. So as I was saying, our umpire David Wong Peng Seng and Yong Loi Kong, our service judge. Now, Momota won the World Junior Championships in 2012 in his home country, in the city of Chiba. Oh, he's a former World Junior Champion as well, isn't he? That was in New Zealand, 2007. It's a great system now, the Junior World Championships, bringing players through the chance to experience international competition while still a youngster, so that the transition into senior badminton is a little more smooth for the players. There's no end of time we talk about players we're commentating on having been former World Junior Champions. It's a great thing.
On my right, Kento Momota, Japan. And on my left, Chen Long, China. Kento Momota to serve. Level. Play.
Well, it's interesting, Ian. I was talking at the All England when we were watching Kento Momota play, that he had been giving an interview in January earlier this year, and he said that, you know, to be honest, he still struggled to compete in senior badminton. You know, it is a different game, in all honesty, to the junior event. You can't get away with loose shots and tactical naivety. But he said he really needs, or certainly needs, to start winning now. Now, he recognised that himself. He's 20 years of age, which is still very young, but for him to say to himself, you know, well, I've been showing potential for long enough, now's the time to start delivering. I mean, that's quite a mature sort of attitude, isn't it?
It is, but I think it's a very ambitious attitude as well, because Chen Long is a really, really top player, been around for a number of years gaining experience, but it took him 7 years to go from junior world champion to senior world champion. And it's tough in the men's game. You know, it's tough physically, it's tough mentally. There's great depth in the men's singles, and you know, it's not that easy to go from top junior to top senior.
No, I appreciate that, but, you know, young Indian sensation Shrikant, what's he, 21 now? You know, it is possible. It was interesting again at the All England. I had the opportunity to talk to 3 of the great players. One, of course, is still playing, Lin Dan, Peter Gader and Taufik Hidayat. You know, and I made note that all 3 of them were world #1s, either as teenagers, or one only became world #1 when he was 20. But, you know, they started to do well at a very young age. And I don't know whether it's because the whole scene of badminton with the Super Series now, with so many more tournaments, difficult to come through in the same way.
I think you've opened up a lot of discussion points there, Jill. Really.
Oh, sorry.
The first one I'll make is that Peter Gader and Lin Dan did get to world #1 quite quickly, but neither of them won the World Junior Championships in singles. And maybe there's less pressure on that, I don't know. Maybe there were other players they were pulling off, and, you know, there's a certain amount of pressure carrying that title as well. There's a little bit of pressure. I think Victor Axelsen has felt that a little bit, carrying that World Junior title, that, you know, that tag of world champion so young. You know, Lin Dan lost to Bao Chun Lai in the final of the World Juniors.
Semi-finals.
Sorry, semi-finals, and of course another famous player, Lee Chong Wei, was in that event as well.
Also semi-final.
A good vintage, you might say.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know, Peter had a big disappointment. He went out quite early, but won the men's doubles
with Peter Nissen.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, I still think it's a big ask at 21, 22 in the men's game to be winning the titles. But it is nice to see a younger crop of players coming through.
Yeah.
And certainly Momota is right up there with Shrikant and Victor as the most promising players at the moment, I would say, coming through.
Should also remember there was a different scoring system when those 3 greats were up-and-coming youngsters. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? His movement, he's such a strong athlete, isn't he, Chen Long? He just seems to glide around the court.
Yeah, we talked a lot about in the last match about the confidence that and the perseverance they showed with Tianqing in the ladies' game, and I think Chen Long's a little bit the same. When he first came through, he was a gangly young player, and he wasn't very consistent, his results, for 2 or 3 years, and we were all wondering, well, how long will they keep going with him and keep trying? But Chinese coaches obviously saw something in him, and again, he's repaying that confidence. But it took him a long time to come through.
Oh, that's nice.
4-5.
I thought Momota really came of age in one way during the Thomas Cup finals. Played 5 of the 6 matches in Japan's victorious Thomas Cup campaign and won all 5 of them. I know he was playing second men's singles, wasn't he? But, you know, I thought that was a very, very solid performance. Oh, you can't get any better than that. Play 5 times, win 5 times.
Yeah, I mean, different players react in different ways in team situations, don't they? And it was clear that he thrived on it. He loved being in that team atmosphere. You could see him. It wasn't just in his own matches. I mean, he was jumping up and down on the seats when his teammates were playing. I'm sure the coaches were a bit worried he was wearing himself out before his matches. But he really thrived in that team situation. And as you say, I'm sure he gained great confidence from that run of results throughout the event. What I like about him is the variety in his game for such a young player. Tactically, he's very astute, can play in different styles.
Oh, my goodness. Well, it doesn't matter what your tactics are. You know, how do you play against a shot like that? That was phenomenal.
Yeah, but I think this is a really interesting match. I've been looking forward to this one. I think I want to see what Momota can come up with tactically. Can he break Chen Long's game? How's he going to play this?
I don't think I've ever seen Chen Long do a full pirouette on a backhand like that before.
Service over. 5, 7. Change.
Schwanzer on the right as we look at them.
Got a trivia question for you, Jill. I said 2 out of the 3 because I wasn't sure about Tafiq. I don't think he won the World Junior title either, did he?
No, he didn't.
But he was already, of course, playing senior badminton at 16, wasn't he?
Reached the All England final at 17.
Yeah.
Repeated it at 18.
Yeah, probably didn't feel the need to play Junior World Champs. I have to say, though, he was an exception.
Yeah.
Service over. 6, 7.
No, this is nice from Momota. I thought a couple of rallies ago that Chen Long was perhaps just beginning to run away with this opening game, but Momota has done well. Oh, that's good, isn't it?
Service over. 8, 6.
Yeah, you have to be very careful when you're playing against Chen Long with that lift around the head, because you know he's got that straight attack. He's very accurate with the straight smash. And so you have to hold your position in the centre of the court. As we can see there, he's just as effective with that cross clip.
Yeah, Chen Long's just asking for the court to be mopped. Yeah, hands went down.
That's clever use of the court from Momota. He knows he can't power his way through these rallies. He knows he's got to manoeuvre his opponent, keep a lot of variety in his game, and that was a nice example there.
Oh, good net shot. Oh my goodness, what a defence from Chen Long. Oh, that's brilliant. My goodness me. One opportunity and it was grasped.
Yeah, super rally. Nice flick off the net. And then the change of pace to get quickly behind the shuttle. Bring it down cross.
Kento Masuda, Japanese coach.
8, 9.
As the match goes on, he gets closer and closer to the edge of his seat there. Can tell when he's nervous. Good flick serve. That is sensational. How many times do you see Chen Long left stranded? Not many.
No, couldn't even get a racket on it, let alone get it back. But again, super variety from Momota. He knows he's not going to be able to power his way through, so he's using lovely variety, changes of direction, changes of pace. A lot of subtlety in his play at the moment.
Oh yes, well taken.
Service over. 10, 9.
Well, the advantage to Chen Long at the mid-game interval with just 2 points in it.
Yeah, this is interesting. Being left-handed, he's worrying about that straight smash down his backhand side, isn't he? And that's a couple of times Chen Long's caught him with the cross attack.
Hot 1, 20 seconds. Hot 1, 20 seconds.
Of course, the seed in Momota's little section of the draw, Victor Axelsen, lost first round. I think he was perhaps a little bit jaded after his wonderful run in Delhi last week. He reached the final.
11, 9. Play.
So a 2-point advantage in this opening game.
Service over.
Just picking up on that about
11.
Victor Axelsen losing in the first round, Ian. In fact, 4 seeds went out in the first round. So Wan Ho, the number 3 seed, Chiao Chen, number 7 seed, and number 8 seed Vittinghus from Denmark, of course, including in that list is Axelsen. Unusual for 4 seeds to go out in round number 1 in men's singles.
I think it shows the game's in a healthy state. There's good depth in the men's singles at the moment. It's nice to see some upsets and quality matches from round 1 as well, Jill. I think that's great.
Yeah, and also backed up by the statistic, the last 8 Super Series events of last year in the men's singles went to 8 different players, I think from 7 different countries.
Yep, another good indicator that men's singles is a very healthy event at the moment.
Yeah, there you're right.
13-10.
Definitely getting caught with that cross-court one.
Yeah, Chen Long's really got him guessing, hasn't he? Momota's worrying about the straight attack all the time. You can see there he was anticipating, got both feet on the left-hand side of the court, anticipating straight, and again Chen Long just clipping down with really good angle cross-court.
Thank you. Hang on.
I was very impressed with Chen Long in the All England.
10.
Really was. I thought that was such a dominant performance. He's playing with great confidence at the moment.
Oh, nicely taken by the left-hander.
Yep. Left-hander special there.
13.
Should be used to practicing against a lefty though, shouldn't he? The practice courts with Lindan.
Yeah, yeah, not a bad practice partner.
Oh, called in.
12-13.
No, he obviously didn't like the call.
I think he was more disappointed with his own misjudgment than the line call.
Service over.
Yeah, I think you're right.
14-11.
Confirmed by Hawkeye that it was in. Oh, good smash. Goodness me, how did he dig that out of his chest?
Well, again, it's the change of pace. It's not a really powerful smash, but it's the variety, it's the change. And then real speed to get in behind it. Look at that, fully committed.
Yeah.
Great play.
That's gone too long.
13.
He's missed it, but saw Momota's problem there. This time he was in the middle, and when the attack came straight, he took it late, but Chen Long didn't take advantage of it. That's a miss.
Goodness me.
Service over.
Well, speed of movement there.
15,
Yeah.
13.
Just looks super efficient, doesn't it? Makes
Yeah.
it look easy. And that was really, really good play. As you say, the movement to get behind the shuttle, the jump, the little hold, and then the precision with the smash.
Oh. 16, 13.
Mixing it up beautifully.
Well, he sensed the danger. At 14-13, he's just played 3 super points. Really has. Just gone up, almost imperceptible upping of his level, but real quality.
Yes, and all of a sudden it looks quite comfortable again, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yes, that's nice.
Service over.
Does have great disguise with the overhead, Momota.
Yeah, you often get that with the left-handers though, don't you?
You do.
Yeah, there's something about it. Just a slightly different angle. But it's very difficult to pick whether he's going to hit straight or cross.
Service over. 18-14.
Oh, hesitation.
Stop. Service over.
Maturity though, he wasn't sure whether it was in or out, and when he decided to hit it, he didn't try and force it, did he? Just got the shuttle going down, was patient, and then eventually got the opportunity.
Service over.
Well, again, it was a lovely idea.
15.
Chen Long was on his way back in court.
Yeah, again, that nice mix of cross and straight, just keeping Momota anchored to the middle of the court.
20,
Can't anticipate.
15.
You will see it stretching him to one side and then the smash to the other side. Good play.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
6 of the last 8 points. Yeah, to bring him to game point opportunities. And it's sensing the right opportunity. That's traits of champions. When to increase the pace, when to increase the intensity.
Service over.
Yeah, he's not happy with that.
20.
Missed it.
Game.
Second time of asking.
First game won by Chen Long. 21-16.
21-16, 24 minutes of play. And as we were saying, at exactly the right time. 14-13. Just thought Momota was beginning to really worry Chen Long, but not a bit of it. Chen Long said, OK, right, I'm just going to up the pace. And ran away with the opening game. 21-16 in 24 minutes. This is something else I've noticed in recent months since he's become world champion and world #1. Instead of just listening to coaches, he's also adding his point of view as well. And that's, I know that was always a style that you liked when you were coaching. You didn't just tell the players, you wanted to know how they were feeling and wanted feedback from them.
Communication's a two-way thing. There's no point in you telling the player what to do if the player doesn't feel they're capable of doing it. You need to know how they feel, how they see it, and then you just need to guide that in what you feel is the right direction. But it's interesting, isn't it? Maybe in China you need to win a world championship before you're allowed to answer back the coach. But certainly it's noticeable how that's changed. Chen Long is contributing a lot more, talking a lot more, whereas for many years he was there listening and soaking in the information from the coaches.
Second game. Level. Play.
So 1 game to the good, 21-16. #1 seed. World champion Chen Long. Now that surprises me.
So it's over.
I think it surprised Chen Long as well, look.
Yeah.
He thought he was at the slower end. I think it was a little bit short from Momota, actually. I think that's the problem.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, it's just so efficient. Makes it look so easy. I'll just hit this one down the line, onto the line. Look at this. So quickly into position. Straight down the line.
That's what we were expecting, really, the shuttle going out that far end of the court, going with the drift.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for Momota to use so much variety from this side of the court. Much quicker. He's going to have to be careful with his little flicks to the rear court. Oh, that's nice. Nice touch. Brought his base forward, saw Chen Long going to take the shuttle a little bit later in the rear court. Took 1 pace forward. That allowed him to take the shuttle early and guide it into the space cross court.
On court 2, men's singles quarterfinal, match number 27, Lindan, China, versus Chen China.
That's a super angle, isn't it? Good variation.
Again, just guiding it down to the line, not trying to hit it too hard. Backing his own technical ability there to find the line.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be reminded that you are not to use flash photography or do video recording when the game is on. Your cooperation is much appreciated. The gentlemen in the Premier Arena 6, please switch off your video recording. Thank you. Your cooperation is much appreciated. Thank you. Enjoy the game.
Couldn't have missed by much. We haven't had a challenge in this one yet, have we?
No, not so far. Yeah, that's the problem Momota's going to have from this end. Those little holds and flicks that were working well for him in the first game. Just drifting out the back of the court from the quicker end.
And that's that's why I'm always surprised, because Momota won the toss, didn't he? And he decided to serve. And that always surprises me. Whether a player says to themselves, I'd rather start the good end or I'd rather finish the good end, depends which ends they'd choose. But a player's got to have a preference on that. So why on earth aren't they all choosing ends?
3, 5.
Maybe superstition, I don't know, but clearly the more logical decision is to choose the ends. Tactically, do you want to play with the good end first, or do you want to play with the good end last? You know, it's a big choice.
Yeah.
Certainly I would normally favour playing with the more difficult end first, knowing that if you do lose the first, you're turning around, you've got the positive of having the good end to follow, and you'll also finish the third game at that end. But there are a lot of players who like to take the good end first to try and impose themselves on the game and win the first game and turn around and put the pressure on the opponent. And there's two good arguments.
Mm. My philosophy was always the former. I wanted to start the more difficult end. But then I think now, with the change of scoring, back in 2006, where you can score a point per rally, you know, I think that actually makes a big difference, because if you've got a really good lead at the change of ends in the third game, I think you can push home, whereas before, where it was tended to be more difficult, more rallies to actually win the points, I think it was a different philosophy.
It was less of an advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. And I think the players are very split on this. You know, when you talk to different players, they've got different opinions. And it depends who you're playing against as well.
Yeah.
If you're playing against a player who you feel is a better ranked player, let's say, who's a better player than you, but you know they're a little bit of a slow starter, try and get the first game on the board, try and get scoreboard pressure.
Yeah. Yep, you knew it, didn't you? As soon as he hit that clear, he was a little bit tentative, wasn't he, on the clear?
Yeah, but
thought that's trouble.
Yeah, again, it's just the precision with the smashes from Chen Long. He's not trying to overhit. I mean, he used to be quite wild in his younger days, going for the big power smashes. Now he's got such good control to the lines. He's become a really efficient player.
Five straight points. Unless Momota can close down this gap before the mid-game interval, I fear it may be a runaway for Chen Long. Good backhand.
He needed a net cord to win that point, I think. Yeah. Chen Long starting to read his game very, very well here. He's picking up everything. Yeah, took the net cord to beat him. He was there again, wasn't he? He'd read the shot. Just the net cord beat him.
Yeah, it's a rare mistake, isn't it?
Wow. First of the match, I think.
Yeah, no wonder he's scratching his head. Missed it.
Service over.
So 6-point
11-5
advantage
interval.
at the mid-game interval in favour of Chen Long.
Got the net cord again on the net, but Chen Long's been reading his attack so well, he just felt he'd got to do a little bit extra, didn't he? And that forced that. That's why he made the mistake and just pushed it wide.
Hot 1, 20 seconds. Hot 1, 20 seconds. Hang on. Kento, hurry up. Eleven, 5. Play.
So 11-5, second game. Good body smash.
Great defence, though.
Yeah.
12, 5. Yes.
Yeah. Incredible defence. Oh, that's absolutely delightful.
Service over. 6, 12.
Yeah, nice touch here.
Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan adalah dilarang
Pace off, brings the shuttle down a little bit steeper than Chen Long was expecting.
kerana ini
Right on the line.
konsentrasi pemain. Kerjasama anda amatlah diperlukan. Terima kasih.
No. First part of that rally, Momota doing everything right, but couldn't finish it off.
No, threw everything at him, couldn't get through. And then Chen Long again, so efficient once he did get the attack. Momota anticipating straight, Chen Long holding and going cross. Lovely play, look at that. Sent him completely the wrong way. Good net.
Service over. 7, 13.
Oh my goodness, that's well taken.
And again, he's really making a concerted effort to try and take the net in the last few points. And that was super play. Lovely spinning net. Stayed with it. Got the reward. You see one step off, but back. Lovely technique.
Service over.
Yeah, again, he's looking for the net, isn't he? Knows it's got to be tight, though, and just made the error.
Missed it.
Service over. 9-14. See?
Yeah, a lot of lifts down Chen Long's forehand side, aren't there?
Yeah, well, he's been struggling to pick the attack from around the head, hasn't he? I mean, Chen Long's been beating him with the straight, beating him with the cross from around the head. So when he is lifting now, he's going to the other side. He's finding it a little bit easier to read Chen Long's direction from there. Well left.
Thank you. Thank you. Play.
Yeah, and there's the problem with going round the head.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can't pick it.
9.
And the speed with which Chen Long gets back into position, look at that. By the time he's hitting the shuttle, his body weight has been transferred, coming forward in court again. Oh, that is just delightful. That backhand guided cross court. Well, do you call it a net shot or just a guided shot across court?
It's a net shot. It's a lovely double cross. Here we go. First cross, second cross. Lovely play, lovely control. So good steep angle with that. Forces Chen Long off balance and changes the direction again. Good use of the width of the court.
Yeah, he was a little bit, he could see out of the corner of his eye that Chen Long was ready to pounce. Didn't really stay with the shot, did he?
It was clever from Chen Long as well. He pushed the block a little bit deeper, didn't he? And Momota, desperate to get control of the net, just tried to spin it from too far away from the net.
Service over. 11-17.
No, he has to have a run now, Momota, if he wants to have any chance of pushing this to a third and deciding game. Just wide. Clever from Chen Long, though, hit at the net there, didn't play tight to the net, just played off the net a little because, as you've noticed, Momota has been playing the net a little better in the last few rallies.
19-11.
2 points away from a third semi-final at the Malaysian Open. Chen never progressed beyond that. Oh, that's incredible.
20, match point, 11.
Lovely way to bring up match point opportunities. Just watch the racket head here, slicing across the shuttle. Missed it.
Game.
2 straight games, 21-16, 21-11 in 46 minutes of play. And a real demonstration of how to just up the intensity, up the pressure,
21-16,
wins needed.
21-11.
Yeah, coach will be pretty happy with that. Confirmation of the score. Yeah, well, he's got huge talent as Momota. Well, it's been a good quarterfinals day here today. All started with the mixed doubles, and in a repeat of last week's final at the Super Series event in India, it was the same result. Liu Cheng and Bao Yi-sin beating the Danish pair, who are now the world #1s. Then Saina Nehwal in the women's singles, well, she was pushed the full distance by Sun Yu. An hour and 10 minutes it took before she came through in the deciding game. 21-17. The highlights of some of those matches, all of those matches in fact. Oh my.
Game. Go!
Saina Nehwal had looked so comfortable in the opening game, 21-11. All credit to Sun Yu, who came back in the second, 21-18. But as I was saying, the decider, 21-17, an hour and 10 minutes. Then it was Mohamed Hassan and Hendra Setiawan, winners here in 2013. Well, a little bit sluggish to get going, but once they were going, they were absolutely superb. Coming through, having dropped the first 21-12 in the deciding game. 21 junior champion with, and then the first ever tournament for the Chinese pair of Xue Huang and Tian Qing. Just 29 minutes total domination over Malaysia's last players in the Malaysian Open, the women's doubles pair of Vivian Hu and Wu Ki Wei. 21-3, 21-10 coming youngsters. And then, as we've just witnessed, Chen Long, the world champion and world #1, playing against the talented Kento Momota. 21-16, 21-11. And whilst we saw moments of brilliance from Momota, Chen Long really was outstanding today. So there's confirmation of all the results, all 5 quarterfinals. So, of course, we will be back tomorrow with all of the semi-finals. We're earlier tomorrow. It's 1 o'clock local time. So from all of us here in Kuala Lumpur, from Ian Wright and myself, Jill Clark, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.